Hello, this is DerTebbers, and this is your Flight Simulator X Mod Spotlight. Welcome aboard our Messerschmitt Bf-109E, wearing, looks like the desert camo, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Bf-109E, we are at Takeoff in Berlin. Somewhere over there. Don't know. First flight of this aircraft, 29 May 1935, powered by a Daimler-Benz DB605A-1 inverted V12 producing 1,455 horsepower, to a max speed of 398 miles an hour, cruise of 365. Now, one thing about her, notice the size of her rudder. I wish I could pull in two aircraft in Flight Simulator side by side. And compare her rudder to, say, the rudder of the P-40 Warhawk. It's a much smaller rudder. This caused problems on takeoff when the torque would actually cause the plane to veer slightly, and inexperienced pilots could cause a crash. Additionally, look at her front end. Look at the way those wheels are located. Now notice the wheels actually go up into the fuselage of the aircraft instead of into the wing. Again, if you go and look at a P-40 Warhawk or a P-51 Mustang or a Spitfire, the wheels go into the wing. Now this was advantageous in that they could remove the entire wing for shipping or for work on the aircraft. It also reduced the weight necessary in the wings because the wings don't have to carry the load of the aircraft on the ground. However, it caused a very very narrow track, meaning the distance between those wheels. They tried to fix that by having those wheels splay out a little bit. But anybody who studied engineering knows that that actually causes a problem in how the moment is applied on the aircraft. Just interesting little points. This aircraft served as a frontline fighter for the entire war. We're going to take to the skies. Alright, there we go. Full throttle. And away we go. Look at her. And then it looks like our gear up light is reds, which is good. I'm going to throttle her back a little bit. Very nice model, very nice looking aircraft. Now, there was 30-something thousand of these built during the war. Very, very heavily used aircraft. There's a little problem with clippage through the propeller, but there are ways to fix that. That's actually in a README file discussing that. You can see the smoke effects coming off the engines, which is nice. When you start it up, she's supposed to puff black smoke. So sort of like that P-40 we had from the Iris group. But overall, it looks like a really nice aircraft. The strobes, if you slave the strobes to a particular button, the strobes actually activate the guns. How about that? I don't know. I don't know where my strobes are slaved to, actually, so I just flip switches usually. There's quite a history, quite a long. I mean, this aircraft was a terror-ish to the Brits during the early days of the Battle of Britain. Very quickly, the Spitfire proved to be the superior aircraft. And even P-40s, 109 pilots learned very quickly that to attack a P-40 Warhawk head-on was suicidal. There's very relatively light armor on the 109 compared to something like the armored body of the P-40 Warhawk. And then once, of course, the P-51s show up on the scene to back up the Spitfires, then the 109s days were basically over at that point. But early in the war, this was a feared aircraft. In combination with the Stuka dive bomber, this aircraft really helped the Germans secure their initial victories. A very interesting book I just finished reading not too long ago. It's called A Higher Calling. It was written about the B-17 bomber Yield Pub and the 109 pilot who escorted the B-17 back over the English Channel after that 17 was basically completely destroyed. I mean, missing an elevator, 2 engines down, huge chunks ripped out of the aircraft. Most of the crew was injured or killed. And it was a very interesting book. It really discussed, it focused more on the 109 and the things that went on around the 109 than the B-17. I would certainly recommend it if you're into World War II aviation. The incident with Yield Pub was not made public because they feared it would humanize the Germans. So while we're loping along here, just gonna play with a couple buttons. No flaps, of course. So let's do Shift 1. Oops, let's get in the plane and do Shift 1. Yeah, Shift 2. Yeah, throttle. 3. A very modern radio stack. 4. Autopilot. Interesting. Shift 5. GPS. And that's the end of the line. Very interesting rudimentary autopilot system there. And the aircraft just looks very nice. There's no panel gaps that are terrible. There's a little gaps around the canopy. That would be expected. I mean, it's a canopy. It slides open and closed. Where's our runway? So let's give her a little bit of full throttle. And I'm kind of trying to find where our speed is. There it is. I think down the bottom left. Let's see, where's the... There we go. We're gonna go after Tempelhof's control tower here, I think. If we don't overspeed in the process. Get it straightened up. Here it comes. If we don't crash and die in the process. I was actually looking to see the smoke trails. Yep, you can see the kind of the smoke coming off the engines. Look at that. Here we come. Too bad we don't have guns, right? Guns, guns, guns. That was kind of low level and dangerous. But fun nonetheless, right? What was that? Stop that. What's going on? Get this plane around to the back. It's supposed to be. There! I can kind of see what I'm doing. Alright, so we're going to try to land this aircraft. Alright, we got 2 runways. We'll just take one of them. It is nice to see the smoke effects and the fact that she does lay smoke out when she's running up at top speed. Look at that. And throttle her back. Smoke kind of goes away as the engines quiet down. Go. Try to use some altitude here. Slower up. There's a runway. kind of go a little out and back. One nice thing about single engine, supercharged aircraft. Immediate throttle response. Go. There's a runway. A runway is really all that matters. Come on, baby. Drop your gears. Alright, fine. Stall so that we can drop the gears. The blazes. Going down yet? You got it throttled all the way back. Of course, we're going 200. Oh, there they go. We have to get below 250. One down, two down. Look at how narrow that track is. Did cause stability problems on the ground, which, you know, sort of makes sense when you have a track that narrow. A little bit more throttle. Yeah, it caused a lot of stability problems on the ground. Sort of would expect that. We're gonna make the runway. It doesn't really matter. It sort of does. Whoa! We'll just do a little hop. Or several hops. Gotta stop her without nosing over here. We're just gonna go right off the runway. Oh wow. There we go. Stopped. Though that's not necessarily a bad thing. During World War II, a lot of these aircrafts were operating from grass runways, so that wouldn't have necessarily been something that would be unusual. And then, of course, the cockpit opens differently than it does with the Spitfire or the Mustang, with a folding over cockpit, which could potentially make bailout more challenging than with flinging your canopy back into the slipstream the way that you could with the other aircraft. Let's start her up really quick and see about the... There, look at that. Oily smoke coming off of there. So it's the Bf-109. The link for this mod is down in the description. It's another good World War II aircraft. Kind of a fun aircraft to have in the collection. A little bit more challenging in terms of taking off and landing. There's her flaps. I knew she had flaps. It was just a matter of finding the bloody things. So there's, let's say, she's missing her flaps, but nope, there's some flaps. So if you needed a Bf-109 for your Flight Simulator X collection, this is a nice one. And certainly flyable if I can land it, even terrible landing like that. Until next time, this has been Captain DerTebbers, flying a Bf-109. Bye.